Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Welcome to another edition of Mary Sky Readally's video blog. I'm Mary Sky. So I'm going to give you a update. And a couple things. Still working on this whole wedding thing, I decided to do a 30-minute video before I put in Girls Interrupted or a different movie tonight, depending on my mood. I want to say I've been depressed all day today. There's many issues. For some of you out there wondering what's going on, I am just really, really depressed. One of the things is that I'll get to it is there's a girl today who's trans, who's from England, who wanted to accuse me of calling or writing or emailing or whatever it is. I don't even think there is something like that, but something about 911, type the 911 thing. And anyway, she's like, the police came to my door. Well, I don't know your fucking address. So how the hell do you think I did it? So the fucking dude in the dress basically threw a shit fit going, "Oh, I think I have multiple personality disorder, And, you know, I need to ask a stupid question, try to coordinate this wedding thing. So, anyway, so what happened was, they did that, and they're in England. Well, my phone does not reach England, so they're like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah." So in the end, I was like, whatever. So, I've been meaning to check out something anyways. Well, it's like, but I want one of those phones. I'm like, yeah, you want one of those telephonos. So, anyways, I want to check on something. So what happened was, um, basically, I was kind of pissy with that, and so kind of pissy with the wedding thing because I have some questions to ask. One. So the wedding, everything's going good, getting it. The wedding is like stupid, and not stupid so much is so much that it's I got the vows I gotta do. I got other issues to do, it's kind of stupid, Mm. Mm. So anyway, so basically it's stupid because the problem with it is that I'm trying to figure out the whole thing about transportation because I got to go off island to do the wedding and I got to do the pre-wedding planning the day before and I'm trying to make sure that I get home in one piece. What the fudge? What the fudge is this? My computer's been acting up lately today, so. So, anyways, I'm trying to load up a website while talking to you all because I want to check on something. But you get the ideas, So the bottom line is, comes to the whole ordeal, I'm trying to get everything in order. Let's just open up the messenger main messenger thing. So yeah, so I wanted to see what this LG Stylus, there's a 3, no, the LG Stylus Plus, I think it's called. Moto E4, yeah, the E5 is a good one too, but I'm looking for the Stylus Plus. Here you go, Stylus 4 Plus, it's $229. Let's see what it is actually. What is it in? How come it's, So anyways, back to my story. So I was just curious about the Stylus 4. It's the same thing, same storage. So I mean, the only difference is the you're paying more for a better picture, I guess. Oh well, I ain't gonna even freaking worry about it. I do like the operating system of the phone, so there. So I finally asked my question about, travel and stuff. So anyway, so let me get down to the story, okay? So me being depressed today, right, all day, I hammered out as many spreadsheets as I could until 5:30. I've had a toothache today. Usually I don't complain about toothaches, but with me, I'm just like, what the fudge? So anyway, so the whole ordeal was, is that that made me depressed, and I'm closing the other room, so might trigger her. But another thing that's triggered me is the fact that that the place isn't getting clean, and I'm worried about next week, with all the stuff going on. I mean, for example, I got appointments with a new therapist on Thursday. I got an appointment set up for something else on Wednesday. Monday and Tuesday is spreadsheets day. I think I can hammer out a lot of them Monday and Tuesday, and Wednesday do it after once. And tomorrow I thought I'd see if Chloe would clean. Every time I bring it up, she just zones out, and plays her game. And so I was talking to a neighbor of mine who wanted to do some cleaning for Christmas money, and I thought, I might just hire her to do the cleaning because that's the way it is. But one of the things I wanted to share with you all is I have a friend who's close to me and a neighbor, and Gabby, and I hope Gabby checks this vid out. TJ and Lexi and stuff. But anyways, my friend lives in the building here, and they were kind of pissed off at the fact that uh they heard Chloe basically. And you guys can laugh at this. I know if TJ is watching this today, you can laugh too because she's very devout and very loyal, and she overheard an argument today. Chloe and I were talking about razor blades, and I'll give you an update what's going on with everything else. So as you know, we got the Medicaid and the food stamps transferred, but the cash assistance part, if Chloe's mom's watching this, it's like they're holding on to it or something or other. So Monday, one of the only errands we got to do is we got to go into the post office and return. And then once all the spreadsheets are done, I got to go and do totaling and updates and stuff like that. I mean, usually I spend the first 2 weeks loafing around at home. Usually this time around it was drinking wine, but Chloe's mom's right. Drinking wine or drinking booze in general can get people in trouble. But anyways, like my neighbor, She, like I said in yesterday's video, I think it was, or the day before, she had CPS on her door because she literally left her kid home alone while she was at our place drinking, and you all heard the story. She passed out and woke up on my bed. I was on the floor, so when I passed out with so much wine in me, I passed out on my floor. Of course, when I woke up to go to the bathroom, I went to the bathroom, not even thinking, and I turned around, didn't even pay attention to the bed. So when I came back in, I realized a woman was on top of Chloe, and etc. etc. Chloe's like, "Oh no, Chloe." So with everything happening, Chloe's mom basically said, you need to go press charges against the lady for sexual assault. Well, here's the story of our TJ Gabby Lexington. So, anyways, what has happened is this, okay? As you know, in the past, people are like, oh, well, how come this didn't happen and that didn't happen? Well, there's two theories, all right? One is, uh, things don't go according to plan, and you think, oh, justice will be served. Or two is other issues. Well, let's just say if someone in Chloe's caliber gets um, does sexual assault or gets sexually assaulted, and let's just say the first part, and as people know, and then leaves, and goes to the mental hospital and everything else, and then gets discharged, and said, "Oh, you can't be with Rita, and you can't do this," and then everything happens, and Chloe's home. Now, a lot of people out there is like, "Well, what?" And they never heard the entire story, and they're like, "Well, justice wasn't served or whatever." Well, here's the ball of wax that I got recently from several people, including Adult Protection Services, who said, and she gave me entire information that, for example, this is just an example, that if someone sexually assaults a person who is um, the person doing the assault, who is borderline personality, schizophrenic, bipolar, uh, schizoaffective, or the other schizotypical disorder, or whatever it is, and it happens, they got to go and most likely go for the person who is mentally ill. All right. Now, as you all know, these idiots at the hospital in Oregon decided that I'm schizophrenic, bipolar, borderline, whatever, all the crap that Chloe, you know. So, anyway, talking to Adult Protection Services and the whole ordeal, basically, and then, yeah, as you all know, they thought, the assault, and so she got the report that said, this happened and this happened 3 weeks ago, and the lady realized, wait. So when they found out it was Chloe, she says you need to press charges. Well, here's the skinny on that part. Okay, now as I just said, if you are any of the severe mental illnesses, let's just say severe mental illness (SMI), then more likely the law is not going to do anything for you, even if you basically filed a police report, got threatened, with your life, computer and blah, 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 lawsuits and everything else, and then, things happen, and so forth and so on. And by the way, some of you out there was curious about the homeless shelter and other issues. I'm gonna just break it down for you, but let me just finish with the story of Chloe. So, anyways, police came out, did everything they needed to, but when the police officer found out that uh, Chloe was assaulted, by a woman who is schizophrenic and bipolar with multiple personality, then he says no. So everything was done by the book. Fortunately, prosecuting attorney, no, we're not going after someone that's been here a long time on this island who we know is a mental whack job. And they also chalked it up to alcohol. there's the other thing. Now, I was talking to my sister, adopted sister Deanna, and my sister in Moses Lake, Shelly. And Shelly realized when she called me and told me all about how there's massive tents everywhere because of the homeless. She said she didn't realize, her and her son talked about it. She talked to me again. She didn't realize that between alcohol and everything else that I mean, even the Adult Protection Service said if you have a severe mental illness, an SMI, then more likely there, I mean, literally, she says we could, even if we decided to file a protection order against Chloe on my behalf for her, tossing stuff off the table out of anger and, saying I'm too fucking disabled stuff. She said that even though that classified in borders domestic violence and, stuff, the thing is they have to take into account that she's SMI, severely mentally ill, so therefore they won't do anything. So when it came to the police, when Chloe filed, the police looked at everything, including the previous records, and basically said to me, because I was asking, and they were like, "Well, here's the deal. Chloe's SMI, severe mental illness. So technically, with Chloe being severely mentally ill, and then the perpetrator that was severely mentally ill with excess alcohol in her, and the fact that et cetera, et cetera. So what has happened, right, is my neighbor came by, Pam, and she was talked to a lady, a CPS lady, about one of the other neighbors who's always asking me for wine and take my kid to the park. I need an hour or two by myself. And, I look after the little girl. She's a sweetheart. And so what happened was she basically had CPS on her door because they said she was drinking. She's selling the kids toys for booze money and partying and drugs and sex and leaving the kid behind. And, so what happened was, same story was for the woman, but the other girl, the one that had CPS too, the one that assaulted Chloe, she pretty much basically the advocate for the one basically doesn't know her well and said, well, she's very overly protective of her child, which is true. Problem is they didn't get into the bottom. It's like, oh yeah, I don't do that. That's the same story as the other girl. Well, what happened is the APS lady, Adult Protection Service, for what I gathered talking to her and Chloe, they had to reopen she had to have the CPS reopen 12 hours completely drinking. And at the time, before I realized, when everything happened, I already placed an order on Amazon for a baby monitor. So if she does hear the kid, she can run right over there. But so so they have to reopen that on the grounds that even though the kid's next door, she passed out on Chloe, and the story is drinking, and they also said, oh, are you drunk? And it's it was like no, but with the police report and everything, they're like, yeah, she's schizophrenic. Well, the APS lady, now Chloe's mom's like probably watching this going, well, we'll get to the point. She's just like Chloe, probably get to the point. Point is, the APS lady saw the video that Gabby in and TJ, Tara J, Vestara, and the other gang members, including Jenna, and they all saw where Chloe put the knife to her throat. And like Jenna said, Chloe is crazy psycho times. And so what happened was, when it came to justice on that issue, APS, Adult Protection Services, was very disgusted at the fact, that in the state of Washington, if I'm holding a knife like this and I'm threatening myself, that's an automatic involuntary detainment of 72 hours, a knife like this. And on top of that, it's also when you do the mandatory 72 hours, you lose your weapons rights forever. Chloe's, So let me recap. So Anyways, law enforcement doesn't want to deal with two schizophrenics. And the policeman said, hey, you get this girl here, the one that he asked me about, the one that's skating on thin ice, because she got out of it with her advocate, my neighbor. The other one, the reopening, because the story doesn't add up. And then the next part is funny because they're reopening that part supposedly. Our case, the lady basically said, I can't basically see Chloe, as well as everyone else, like TJ, Gabby, Lexi, and stuff. They all say, oh, financial abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse. This lady and basically said, we can prosecute someone that mentally ill. And if they refuse services, then technically it's like taking a horse to water and the horse refusing to drink. So if Chloe's mom's watching or Chloe's grandy's watching, grandy for granddad. Sorry if I'm getting a little technical, but the justice system, for Chloe is not going to work. Now, I know Chloe's mom's like, oh, well, a lot of you out there was curious, and I'm just going to cut to the BS, okay? I love Chloe dearly, but when it came to the justice system for other issues, the adult protection service lady, from what I understand, when she called me to give an update that the case was closed, she checked in with the other departments, including the one where, you guys are comforting me on the, the next morning when you all found out that Chloe basically made threats while in the mental hospital with the papers not delivered to her. They had to make sure the papers were delivered the next day because of the threat, because the hospital refused to put the papers in. Well, that was one of the complicated issues. So the hospital basically said, fine, you can't see Rita ever again. Chloe was angry. Well, anyways, when Chloe went to the homeless shelter, I won't go into details. What happened was the homeless shelter did some research and found out Chloe's still in the lease. Manager wasn't going to remove her. Manager was lazy. But also supposedly because of the whole incident in March, and this is April, that they thought Chloe had another personality break. This is what the social worker told me at the hospital, or not hospital, supposedly the homeless shelter. And so what happened was, they basically said a young woman there at the shelter was assaulted. Now they weren't going to basically, the girl wasn't going to talk apparently. So what they did was they basically found a way. Well, the taxpayers ain't paying for you to stay at the shelter. You might be taking your meds and going to your one therapy, but Chloe walked in there one day and said, I'm leaving. Well, as you all know, I went and got her and brought her home. But anyways, the thing is, when I was called and told to meet at the train station, because the commitment line in King County was going to involuntary commit her. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. Well, I didn't know that at the time. So when we did get home, they asked me, this was like 12 days later, some 15, 20 days later when I called back, where was Chloe? Well, I said, Chloe's with me in Grant County. Well, they threw a fucking shit fit. Well, then there were some roadblocks. Medicaid was locked, and this was that, and this. Well, we got it all unlocked, but Chloe didn't want to go through the fucking Twinkie-eating bastards there at Grant, so she went back to the charities, the Christian charity type group, and they said there was some type of warrant or probation parole violation type shit. And the problem is we checked everywhere. We even had police locally at the time check, and there was nothing. They were very polite. They said no problem. Well, but yeah, anyway. So what happened is as you all know, with the whole ordeal with the law in June, they were going to involuntary me for too much alcohol. Well, they didn't get to me because I left, and we moved. And they don't miss us at all. Now they got the homeless to take care of there, and we are basically pretty much in in cahoots with not worrying, so the problem with that is, like I said, is that whole ordeal. So you got that. Now When it came to Chloe and the justice system, like I said, the justice system's not going to work for Chloe. I mean, the police, the two detectives says we can't prosecute, and you put two schizophrenics in the freaking same room in a courtroom, it's going to make everyone look like a. So, and then you had the whole ordeal with Chloe, with the whole thing with throwing something at me on a transit. They got that information. Then they found out through witnesses that Chloe's making out with an African American kid that's 22. Now I know Jenna's probably laughing if Jenna's watching this, and just going 22 and African American, and works at the brewery. Anyways, he was all over Chloe's, hands on her ass and everything, and Chloe at the time was like, "Well, you have Shelby, you have Shelby, you have Shelby," and it was kind of fucking funny as hell because it's like I don't have Shelby, Um, mm, mm. Right? Horse piss. So my cousin-in-law, Tara Behole's drinking Coors Light, so I called it horse piss. But anyway, so the justice system, like they said, so when they basically thought that out in the other place, I was in the mental hospital, I was mental too, so they're just like, well, we're throwing it out. Well, the prosecuting attorney also, let's just say, needs circumstantial evidence, and well, there was no evidence on Chloe's case or my case or no case, so everything was thrown out. So they also said, that if it went to court here for Chloe. Mm. So basically, what has happened, when it came to it all, is they also said that if it went into court, they'd have to ask Chloe, and all this. Now, the APS lady was kind of rude to Chloe on a couple aspects, and Chloe got very combative. But but the APS lady realized, it can't prosecute someone who's mentally severely ill with possibly Asperger's. But she also basically stated that because Chloe keeps running to mental hospitals, that they have to report it to the possibly the fraud department because she didn't follow through with treatment after getting out of these hospitals. So that was the other thing that's kind of complicated. But she was going to advocate to see why Chloe's cash assistance was dropped. But for what I understand so far from her talking to me and others is the reason for it is she never made the administrative law judge hearing, so we have to reapply. But right now, the cash assistant program is still locked into Moses Lake. So it's like completely and thoroughly complicated, So, but anyways, so there's that whole thing. And I told you one day I'd explain it to you, but the thing is, when it comes to Chloe, and the justice system, they really don't want to prosecute someone severely mentally ill. Now, I know TJ and Lexi and Gabby's probably watching this, and Vestara and even Jenna and probably Chloe's mom's probably praising Allah, the Lord, grand He is too. But the problem is with this whole ordeal, okay, is I was in a mental hospital. Chloe was in a mental hospital, so they think we went both mental. So technically, they're just like, fuck it. Now, when it comes to Chloe, they just can't prosecute anyways because Chloe is severely mental. So, you guys could say, oh, well, what about putting her in a mental hospital? Washington, if you guys don't know, is if you are a threat to yourself or a threat to your others, where you're decompressing, where you can't live full lives, and etc., then they can invoke the 72-hour detention, and then from there they can invoke the 14-day detention. And if you're not ready and they still think you need to be hospitalized, they can invoke the 90-day, which means you're in the hospital for like 100, 120 to 240 days just waiting for a bed at one of the state hospitals. And when you get in there, then they can say, oh, well, they're healed in 2 weeks, or they can say, well, we need 9, the whole 90 days, and then afterwards they can say, oh, they're not ready, and they can invoke another 6 months. And then they have to go through the whole thing again and again and again in the court proceedings. But the problem is with Chloe is because Chloe's mentally ill, she's still making her own decisions. She doesn't want meds, no money. She doesn't want to follow through treatment, no money. So, the problem is, one of those, like I said, was it's close to me. She basically said, I'm curving my tongue, but she wanted to say, and I know Chloe's mom's probably watching this laughing her ass off about now, but she basically wanted to say to Chloe to go get a job because Chloe's like, for example, I was going to get 12 to 16 razor blades, just buy a multi-pack, they're affordable at Walmart. And, Chloe basically said, and the neighbor heard it, oh, well, we get half of each. Well, to me, I really don't care, but to my friend, it's like, the hell with that's like the hell with them, because I mean, for example, there's like this, right? I don't know if there's only one blade on this or they gave us 4 blades and 2 razors, but this is like a Bic Soleil. But anyways, it's like a 4-bladed razor. I haven't tried it yet. This is for the wedding. And anyways, the story goes, Chloe was getting angry on a bus and basically thinking I wanted Chloe to be a man and I wanted to be the female. Well, one of the things that I want to say that's depressing me in my depression state right now is the fact that, and I know TJ or Lexi and Gabby will probably laugh at me for saying this, but and Chloe's next door, so she's probably listening saying, well, what is my trigger? Well, one of the triggers is I feel like I'm just a subservient man, and yeah, the reason for it is, every time I turn around, it's, I know Chloe had the trigger I told you guys about the lunch, and she's like, well, if you go to lunch, I got to go to lunch because it's equality. Well, thing is, a lot of married people they go out to lunch without their significant other. Tara does it to Corey is it to Tara. They go to joints and jointly to have eats, and that's all gravy. But in my opinion, I love Corey, Tara, they're awesome. My opinion is, when it comes to equality, basically, it's just, I mean, in some ways, it's complicated. But people sit there, and I know Chloe's mom's probably sitting there laughing her ass off, going, wish the neighbor would have said, get off your ass and get a job, because every time I turn around, I feel like I'm a passable, beautiful, attractive woman who needs her hair done again. Hopefully, I can get to Oregon soon, so I can hang out with Corey and Tara, and maybe they'd let me stay with them a day or two and get my doctor's appointments. And I have an MRI coming up. But problem with the MRI is I want to reschedule it, because I don't really want to stay in a hotel. And that's first one. That's not about staying with Corey Terraces. I don't want to pay because got to bring Chloe with, cost more money, and Chloe's gonna have to be with Houdini when aka Moppy, when I have to go through an MRI for my head because they're trying to figure out why I'm having severe noise issues in my ears. Now, the mental hospitals and the doctors around here say schizophrenia, but it's a diesel engine sound. I mean, I was hearing it in Oregon, so I think the further out you go from the city or whatever, you're going to hear it. But out here in the ocean so far, I haven't heard it in winter time yet, but out there, I heard it. But here, I don't hear it at all. I mean, I have a ceiling fan and stuff, but you get the idea, But anyways, so what I'm trying to say is, I mean, I'd like to stay with them, and just hang out with them, have some wings, and I haven't had wings in a long time. So, but the point being is, when it comes to, all this stuff going on, I just don't want to fork out the money until after Christmas because, frankly, it's Christmas time and I got gifts to purchase. And frankly, I'm still eyeing getting that Dallas Cowboys crock pot for Tara and saying, Merry Christmas, enjoy the present, because they've always looked after me. And, she's like, oh, well, spend the money on others. Well, the woman who's skating on thin ice is looking to pack up and move. So, I got a present already ordered for her daughter. But point I'm trying to make is I'm kind of getting irritated at the fact, that one of my triggers is, you know, um, I feel like, being a subservient man because every time I turn around, it's like, um, like, on the bus, for example, the bus driver was almost ready to throw Chloe off when Chloe's throwing a fit about razors. Oh, you're gonna get razors. It's like, no, because I went to the razor section. I got the shaving cream, but the razors were all sold out. They had like the more expensive ones. And frankly, I'm not paying for the more expensive ones. And I don't know the layout of that Walmart. And like for me, if I go to Oregon and I go with Tara, my favorite peep of all time, Corey and Tara, Tara's number one, Corey's two, is the layout of Walmart. They know it better than I. Same with Fred Meyers. I was like, oh, Rita, we're gonna go here. Or they'll be like, hey, get on this little scooter. You got the disabled thing, and so it's all good, but that's one of the triggers I have. The other triggers is, like I said, I was looking to hire someone to help clean this place up because, I mean, I already told the APS, the Adult Protection Service lady, that Chloe's severely ill. I mean, the Adult Protection Service lady was looking into finding out how to get her on disability quick enough, but she also thought Chloe might need a group home because she can't take care of herself. I mean, I said, you guys can nail me for abuse because I'm taking care of her. And she says, no, your finances are supposed to go to you, and, they have everything anyways. They know everything. But the lady had to look up reports and look up police records, how many times Chloe's made threats and how many times this has happened. And, when she looked at mine, she's like, you're clean. But point I'm making is, it's one of my triggers is, that, I feel like, and it's not Chloe's fault, I got to make more time for myself. That's what me and Pam were talking about. But the problem with it is I've been so depressed because, I got a lady pointing the finger at me for England. Oh, you're called England, I'm mad at you. And then I got my other friend who's skating on thin ice who's like, Rita, I heard from this lady, and I wasn't even paying attention. I was so shocked that the mailman didn't come. I was like, I got packages coming in for Christmas, and Terry is sending out Moppy's coat. I'm checking out the Minions coat. I'm excited and everything. Nothing today's mail. So 2 days, the mail came in at like 4:45 because the ferries are running down on a 3-boat schedule, and we're supposed to be running to and it's going to cut it down to like a 2-boat schedule or a 1-boat schedule. So through the holidays, we're going to be running on one ferry, So we have to stockpile supplies. So I'm thinking, order Schwans and stuff, have them delivered in. But you guys get the idea. So one of my triggers was place isn't clean. Another trigger is, that, is like the neighbor kind of triggered me for depression because she's just like, wanting to basically say, Chloe, you can get a job, get off your ass and do it. And I know family members would say the same thing. And I know Chloe's mom the other day, Chloe called up her mom. I don't have any gripes with her mom. I will just say I thought it was funny. Chloe's just like, Mom told me to go to the homeless shelter again and get a job. It's like, and her grandmother thinks she can be on disability, but they don't want to take a 20-year diagnosis. Plus, like the lawyer said, he turned around and says, I can't take Chloe because she's not completing treatment. Two is she's got too many diagnoses that conflict each other. So how do you turn around and give a diagnosis properly? If you're going to go to a mental hospital, you stay with one hospital that works with you. But instead, Harborview, then they dispatch you to like one of the 8 in the Seattle metro area. Next thing you know, after like, what is it, 2 times at one place, one time, and then this time around she went to another place where supposedly they were invoking the involuntary card, and then they basically dumped her. They're just like, even under involuntary, the insurance ain't paying. Out you go. So that's all that happened, So Chloe's just like, well, what do we do, So. And then, I got a letter from the hospital. Last one, they want like $26 service fee. Where's the letter? Is this the letter that they wrote? $27 handling charge, and it's like and 2 page just for the medical records, which we have like a breakdown record of the discharge summary that says unknown, unknown, unknown. Chloe's like, oh, well, they said Asperger's, but problem with Asperger's is it has to actually state quote unquote autistic spectrum disorder. They don't want to do it. They're like self diagnosed Asperger's. So instead, they're saying, oh, well, she must be loony, But you got the other places like APS and the police saying, ding, 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 schizophrenia, schizophrenia. And, now if Chloe's schizophrenic, she'd be hiding the hallucinations and the audio and visual hallucinations. So, but anyways, so, and there's a lot of people that hide schizophrenia, like for example, you're schizophrenic, you don't get a sex change. And even Jenna and I know this because Jenna and I have both been around. I mean, Jenna, I think that beautiful, beautiful woman that she is, I think she's 44, 45. And I'm 40 now, so technically for so many people out there watching this, you could sit there and realize that the psychologist and psychiatrist has got to weed out the grandiose ideas that you want a sex change, so, and, I know if Tara and Corey's watching this, they're maybe laughing because frankly, to weed out that many that, for example, if the government really wanted to say sex changes are bad, they could just sit there and say every one of us motherfuckers are schizophrenic, whether we're male to female, female to male, or intersex, or both. So, but anyways, back to my story. So anyways, with all the justice system and crap out of the way, basically the neighbor overheard an old lady talking about something, and it depressed me because I never spoke to the old lady. The old lady, I heard him like, I didn't say Jack. Well, the lady the neighbor contacted me later and said, I know literally that you didn't say that, but I said I'm depressed. I mean, I was telling the neighbor if there's one of the neighbors, there was a fucking 60-ton tank, I would have hopped in it, not hopped in it, but hopped in front of it and let myself get flattened because frankly, the main thing is it's depressing me to no end with all the triggers. I mean, the APS lady said, when it comes to Chloe and her anger, it's all words, I mean, the bus driver wanted to 86 her because she basically got angry about, oh, you want me to be a fucking man? No, I didn't say that, and, I did look for razor blades. That was on the shopping list, but, so I did check in with Walmart. I'm going to check in with the apps, make sure. So next time I go to Walmart, I will take a little extra time, and so forth, and get her done right. So, now on to the other problems. The neighbor wants to leave, A, because she wants to avoid CPS, and B, she doesn't, it has to be reported, because apparently someone said to her, and it wasn't me, that she had people living with her and paying her rent stuff that's not supposed to, violating the lease and endangering their child. So your old daddy's going to report it to CPS himself. So she's all bummed. And my friend Pam's like, you brought this upon yourself. You can't blame Rita. Look at Rita. Rita's already depressed. And Pam came by to check on me after she got done doing things because she was actually really concerned about my health. Chloe, of course, Pam was like, well, where's Chloe? And, Chloe's in the bedroom. But earlier I ran into Pam and she said, you're so down. And, Chloe's sitting there playing Guild Wars and, I'm depressed. And, you try to talk to someone like Chloe and, it's difficult, And so, because of it, when you have friends outside, like the girl I was going to hire to do the cleaning or couple other people, they're like, yeah, Chloe's clearly just a schizophrenic, but, if Chloe's mom's watching this or dad or stepdad or grandpa, you might laugh at this. But, when it comes to conversations, it's like one way, it's like talking to the Rain Man, but in woman form or intersex form, because it's, with me, I try to be a strong woman and, do everything I can, but I have triggers too, and, like, I mean, I like talking to my family, like Corey and Terry, I send pictures. I'm like, hey, check this out. They're good fishing and can't plant a garden, I have normal conversations. It's, some of my triggers is also the same questions that depress me. It's like, am I going to have my sex change? Am I going to get my letters? Well, I got the letters done. She keeps forgetting the letters are done. Am I gonna? The doctor's gonna let me have it, or do I have to get my letters redone? Or, I got another therapist, a psychologist, and psychiatrist, just in case her letters again, which the doctor accepted. So the problem is what the fuck, the triggers are there, but I'm trying to be a strong woman, yet, at the same time, I'm wondering what mental disability do I have? My mother used to think I was borderline. My sister thought I was bipolar, and another sister thought I was schizophrenic. So that's what they put on the one record, but at the same time, it makes me wonder, And so I was talking to my cousin about that last night. I never got an answer. I don't think my cousin-in-law, the cute Tara Beehole realizes, that it's something I'm dwelling on because, one of the things is that Tara and Corey don't know is, I eat healthy. I'm trying to eat better. I only sleep 3 hours. And, sharing a bed with Chloe, half the time I'm getting like 20% of the bed, and then when I do want to roll over, it's not Chloe's fault. I get ready to roll over, and next I'm looking at Moppy, so it's you got Chloe and Moppy and me like at the edge, and so Moppy sometimes wakes me up, like climbs on my head, like, hey mom, I gotta go take a shit or I gotta go piss, so I gotta get up and then get dressed and find everything I need and go out, and usually I run into one of my favorite peeps here at the building, and I'm like, got your morning coffee? Not yet. And then we joke around a bit, and I like this or I like that. But point is you know, the APS lady, she said, yeah, Chloe's too mentally ill, but at the same time, it could be considered financial exploitation. So check the little boxes what she sent in the mail because you shouldn't be basically throwing a temper tantrum, as she said, on a bus or, whatever. The lady also has the list of everything that was wrong and done to me, that the mental hospital has. So in the end, she's just like, we can't charge her with anything because, the problem is, and I said I don't want to charge, but problem is, they're not going to take away my benefits either. But she's like, you need to look after yourself, and so I'm trying to juggle getting cash assistance for Chloe, and I'm trying to juggle, everything. And so I've been on the phone. I got a new phone. I've been on the phone. I've been on the phone. I've been on the phone. And, it just gets to a tiring point where, you're making agreements, you're going to do this for layaway. You're going to do that. You're going to do this. You got to do a wedding. You got these appointments to do. You have all these things. And yet they're like, keep checking the mailbox. It's not just DSHS in Moses Lake, but it's Mount Vernon and it's Oak Harbor, and it's like how many people out there, but yeah, out there realize that that the justice system won't work, and two is there's a lot of crazies out there, and the police want to say I'm crazy, well that's fine. Like I said, like the policeman said, they're usually, they might get jailed, or usually go to a mental hospital. That they're so bad off, like Chloe is, that it's a get out of free jail card, basically. Oh, mental hospital, but the insurance won't pay, so they'll just dump her back at home, And so, when it comes to, everything, it's like the lady said, and I can be kind, I can be courteous, but it's either job or apply for disability. She's looking into all the options, but at the same time, she also knows that the problem is it's complicated, So, but yeah. Anyways, and the lady knows about Chloe making out with a African kid, and the lady knows about this and that. But the main problem is Chloe is just mentally ill, severely mentally ill, and but also the as the lady said, the world doesn't owe Chloe anything. Chloe's mom's like, oh, the world, Yeah, I don't hold anything against Chloe's mom. I do think Chloe's mom's completely right. Alcohol for Chloe's not. I don't know. Alcohol for me is a no-no too, and frankly, I don't want to drink several pints of beer and make an ass out of myself if I ever meet up with Chloe's grandpa when we're in Portland, because I don't really want to be an ass. I mean, I've already been told, oh, well, you've abused Chloe, but thing is APS came out for Chloe, not for me, and that's only they came out to find out, what with everything going, if someone, basically, literally called, and so, they had to investigate, and then the lady said, well, it is financial abuse, it is intimidation, coercion, etc. But being mentally ill, I said, I'm not signing any papers at prosecuting, and she says you can't. When she saw the videos and stuff, she says you can't touch Chloe. I mean, you all know the whole thing about Chloe basically making former threats against our government. And from what I gathered from my own intel, and this is just stupidity, I'm just guessing, but they know she's too mentally ill from her record. So, they're just gonna sit there and go, whoops, because and so, but the point I'm making is all these people say check your mailboxes, and so Monday we got to put a change of address in, and and stuff. I got to set up a order list. I got to do besides ordering more KY jelly. I got to order noise canceling headphones. I also was looking at one of those little watches that's like $10, and that's affordable, and I can sync up to my phone so I can use it to answer if I don't through Bluetooth or whatever, one of those Android watches, and they're really cheap and I need to get an iPad cable. I was looking to get a replacement iPad replacement. I was looking at that, but the Walmart online doesn't sell them, so I was like, what the fuck, The Walmart I used to go to sold them, so I know Tara's like, what, iPad? No, Android. I love my favorite peep anyways. I love her opinion, that's the thing, she's got an awesome opinion. But the other purchases I gotta make this coming month, I think, and that's something I was wishing, not that I mean, I love my family dearly, Tara's awesome. When I was there the last time, we went clothes shopping, and on the way out, she got me 2 pairs of shoes that lasted this long. My shoes are still good, but I was just looking at it like, man, Tara made a joke recently. I said, yeah, I want all these things. She's like, go ask me your rich uncle for it, and what I wanted to say, because I love Tara, is, I love just joking with her, like, oh yeah, I'd like this for Christmas or that for Christmas. I know, no video games, but noise canceling headphones, I'm buying those in this coming month, and I love the headphones she got me at Philips, and I just need to get a new pair, and then the iPad plug, it's little things like this that I'm enjoying purchasing, because it's good to have them on hand, and so forth, and etc. It's like the phone. Well, the phone is like a one-time purchase, unless the phone goes, then I'll just buy it, but I paid for the phone outright, and I know, Tara and I, we love each other as sisters, and I know she said I annoyed her once about talking about the Galaxy Note, but we all have our own opinions and preferences. I don't have a lot of money, so to me, I was just happy to get the Stylus 4. I wanted it anyways, and so now I just want to see if they come out with Stylus 5. Which, talking about games for a minute, I hear there's some big announcements coming up for Diablo. So I'm hoping 2019 they release an information on D4, because I want to see how D4 plays, and stuff. They're making it for multiple platforms. But they got a November 2nd, D3 comes out for a Switch. So I'm looking forward to getting it. I got to check Walmart to see if it's there, because I'm going to personally get it, put it on layaway, so I have another game for Christmas. But basically, I need to get the items I need. I have to get towels too. I know my family, is probably sitting there, what? The thing is, I got to get new towels. Talking about towels for a second, I got to go wring out the towels that's on the floor, because Chloe, of course, had diarrhea recently. I think she used too much TP, but it's her disability. As we call it in our family, Tara, Corey, and Rita, mountain money. And so the toilet got plugged up. So, when I went to use it, it overflowed, it overflowed, and Chloe flushed and overflowed. And I was like, fuck. So when I got unplugged, it was just a big mess. I told Chloe clean it up. It was her fault. Shit, and so I ended up doing it. So, with me, one of the triggers is, if like people say, if you're going to be living in an apartment, sometimes, even if you don't have finances and, you want some like razor blades, shaving cream, why don't you just, what's the word? Why don't you, sometimes pull your own weight, and that's one of the triggers, and I know that's what she wanted to say is, you're going to be here, just pull your weight, do a little bit. And, because, the APS lady says you're not going to be around forever if you keep freaking doing all this, and my stress level is going through the roof and, and so forth, So I got three neighbors looking after me and the manager and my cousin and cousin-in-law. If they heard what they'd be like, back to the mental hospital you go, because it's just, I got so many triggers, so many responsibilities, wedding coming up, and sometimes I got and I'm worried about getting home. I mean, I told them, get me home, after the wedding. I got to go pre-wedding and then that, and then get on and I was out for dinner, and I was like, well, I just want to get home and and stuff. Just want to make sure I get home, and other people are like, well, you're doing this and doing that, you should get paid. Well, the thing is they're coming from long distance, and it's only polite, and if I did have the finances, there's people out there, not just Chloe, there's other neighbors out there that would be already planning to spend. It's like counting your chickens before they hatch, and it's like, to me, I'm like, yeah, I don't know, and so I'm kind of concerned at every little issue, and so with me, et cetera, et cetera, and then, I don't know if you guys know this, but I put my hand in the Chamber of Commerce's so I can actually do weddings for free, So if someone wants to choose me for a same-sex marriage, if they want to give me $5 or $10, make copies of my credentials every time, and here's a once you get your license, like $20 or whatever. The certificate's $9. Okay, give me 20, that buys my lunch. And if you want me to travel outside the island, you pay the ferry fee. There you go, But point is, you got to, and frankly, I'm just concerned about that. And then I got I got to go to food bank on Wednesday. Chloe, it was just like, we got to go again because we're running out of supplies. I'm fine on ramen and other organic foods, so to me, I got all these triggers, and then, when it comes to, TJ and Gabby and Lexi watching this, when it comes to the whole ordeal, when it comes to with her, the neighbor was basically like, saw me the other day hitting my head on a post because a light post. I mean, I wasn't hurting myself, but I was just like in the Santa Claus movie, he's hitting it like this, going, "Can't we get a pizza?" He didn't want to listen to me. I was just hearing his on and on and on, and it's like, I know Chloe's mentally ill, so I accept it, but go on and on and on about high school football when she was going to school. It's like, I'm out here looking at the sun and the moon, and I got to hear, and my neighbor, she looked at me and she goes, "I know what you were doing." And I says, "What?" She's like, "You're frustrated." Well, yeah, I am. And I'm frustrated because, back to the story, is this little battle axe turns around and accuses me of saying something. And now it's going to go back to my neighbor's daughter's dad. And it's like, I don't want any part of this fucking drama. I mean, look, they're stacking more up the triggers on me. And I'm just trying to get spreadsheets done. And, I offered to help Tara out on a project for her. It's all good. I wanted to make a joke with Terry, and be like, "Oh, yeah, one Diablo 3 Nintendo Switch, please." But it was just charge, But Tara was asking for help on something. She gave me all the information needed, and I said I can hammer it out. Spreadsheets is a specialty. She said, "Looks good so far," so I will finish it up on Monday or Tuesday and see if she has anything more to add to it, and email it to her. She's like, "Oh, well, what's this?" See, I use LibreOffice mostly, or Open Office, or Open Office, but I use Libre because instead of going out like my family when she got her little cute yoga, Lenovo yoga or yoga, that they paid like I think it was like a year for Office 365 or something. Whereas me, I just downloaded my Office program called Libre, which is free. It's got all the Office applications in it. You don't have to pay. Microsoft, of course, has a problem. Then I have the Outlook clone called IE client, and that helps with my calendar and everything else. So I just pull it up, and because I basically have it synced to my phone, I can actually pull up my spreadsheet through Google Drive, which I use. And I was thinking of getting a Chromebook, but you know what? If I'm just going to look up my spreadsheets on the go, I'll just activate that. And one of the things I want to share with you that I need to buy for Christmas this year or if family is watching this, is I need some more socks and underwear. I really do. And, my family's thinking, usually I'm thinking about video games, but lately I've been... So one of the... So Chloe basically came on to say I'm complaining, but no, I'm actually talking about, the justice system and, everything else. But, she's severely disabled. And so people, need to know the entire story. So anyways, what I was trying to say is my family watching this, there should be happiness for me looking outside the box instead of just wanting video games for Christmas. I would like to get other things like towels, which for once being 40 years old, as a woman that I'm, Chloe's a woman too. Like I said, I have triggers. And the main complaint I have wasn't about Chloe so much because I wasn't complaining about Chloe. It was about the neighbors basically accusing me. I mean, it's like right now, Chloe's accusing me, and yet my trigger is I don't like being accused. I got accused from a lady from England. I got accused of saying something I didn't say. And then I was trying to explain the whole justice system and everything else, when it comes to things. And so, what happened with Chloe, Chloe this, and, how, everything works for Chloe, being disabled. And yet, my triggers are my triggers, and so with me, I was trying to, explain to you all, that there's more to life than, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, like tonight, I loaned one of my computers over to the neighbor so she could watch movies, and usually I don't loan, I got my game system loaned, etc. The neighbor, the neighbors, one of the neighbors just wanted us to, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not complaining in general. I was just saying, that the neighbors hear things and so forth. And I mean, it's completely not a complaint. Okay. If Chloe thinks it's a complaint, it isn't. It's actually a compliment that she's got a get out of jail free card. But on a topic, of Christmas, there were socks that I needed, underwear that I needed. I gotta get underwear for one of the neighbors, because she requested that makeup, and then socks, underwear, and towels. Now, family members are sitting there wondering towels. I still got a freaking. And if Chloe's watching this still, which she probably is, I will make one complaint. I still haven't seen Chloe's Christmas list, so if I don't get a Christmas list or figure out what she wants for Christmas by the time I go to Walmart, when she might get a stocking full of walnuts just because. See, now that is a complaint, but otherwise she shouldn't be taking everything as a complaint because frankly, I wasn't complaining about her at all. I was saying basically, honestly, that technically, trying to explain everything to you. Now, Chloe's made many mistakes, yes. So have I. But at the same time, we have to distance ourselves from these people because it's actually a trigger for me. And Chloe knows this. The real problem is, now the whole thing about me complaining about Chloe going on and on and on, about the whole football thing, I wasn't really interested. I was just wanting a little peace and quiet, and, because, lately I got a lot of depression. I'm not complaining about, the cleaning or whatever. It's just I got all these triggers, and they're triggering me to basically get pretty much jump over the deep end, and my family would not like that. So I'm trying to pull myself back, but I'm also trying to express myself because, and Chloe was asking the other today about, is it her? It's not really her so much. It's about, me and my complaining about not getting everything done. I mean, I got 13 spread, or no, what do I got left? 9 spreadsheets to go before I go to stage 4. And stage 4 is just basically hammering them out, and I can get it done in a good time frame by the end of the month. But at the same time, Chloe's got to realize that I'm complaining about myself because I don't really have enough time. And this video isn't about complaining about Chloe because I don't complain about Chloe on my videos. Usually I just say, oh, this happened or that happened. But when it comes to Chloe should realize that the neighbors are the triggers. And, maybe Chloe might be like 1% triggers because of certain things around here. But, she needs to realize it's the neighbors. I mean, the neighbors are like time vampires. They suck my time. And I was like, Rita, can I come by? Not really, but fine. So Chloe should realize it's not a complaint about her. It's more about, the neighbors. I mean, the neighbors want to bitch at me about, oh, well, I'm going to lose my kid. I'm going to lose my kid. I'm going to lose my kid. Well, you should have thought of that before you fucking did what you did. Even Chloe said that one. See, not complaining. But anyways, Chloe thinks this is a complaint video. It isn't. More about ranting about my mental health going down the crapper, and it's not her fault. It's basically my fault because, I got all these things on my plate. And, honestly, if Chloe's watching this, Chloe should realize that this isn't a fucking complaint video. This is about basically expressing my feelings of all the stuff stacked up on my plate, as Pam said. And I mean, literally at times I just want to go outside down to the beach and be Tom Cruise and go, son of a bitch! Son of a bitch, in the desert, but out on the beach, because frankly, sometimes I get, frustrated, and it's not just frustration from one person. It's like frustrated from them all. It's like, Rita, can I come by? Oh, Rita, can I get a lift? Oh, Rita, can I do this? And, having coronary artery disease, it's like, how much more, am I going to take? It's not just, and the neighbors, she's just like, calm down, take some deep breaths, and, et cetera, et cetera. And to me, I'm like, me and one of the neighbors, when we were talking the other day about Chloe, she basically understands, like, Chloe says, I'm a saint. Yeah, okay, I'm a saint. But I'm not complaining about her. What I'm saying is I got all these triggers, and yet at the same time, no one understands me. I mean, it's like, I feel like, today everyone's fucking against me. I mean, literally, Chloe's like, oh, everyone's against me. Everyone's against me. Well, this is how I feel today. I feel like her. Everyone's against me. I mean, neighbor wants this. One lady wants that. And then Chloe comes on and says, oh, I'm complaining. No, I'm basically expressing my feelings of, giving an update that, people should know that things happen and, oh, well. But with me, I need to get out of this depression. But I am depressed because, there's a lot of things I need to get done and not enough time. I mean, well, let me just show you this, okay? I would like Chloe, one of the things I wanted Chloe to do is clean, right? Is clean. And, I was going to take her to dinner. I don't know if we're going to be able to. And while Chloe was cleaning, I was going to go and play games. I mean, look, I got this game for my birthday, Octopath Traveler. Chloe should go ahead and pop it. Got I Am Setsuna for my birthday. Awesome RPG, apparently. I got Lost Sphere, another RPG. I got Mega Man 1 and 2 Legacy. Oh, the Mega Man and Mega Man 2 Legacy collection. Yeah, okay, cool. I got Ys 8. I got Knights of Azura 2. I got Disgaea 5 complete. I got Zelda, which me and my neighborhood friend were in. Harvest Moon I've been playing. I got Mario Odyssey. I got Mario Kart 8. I got Skyrim I've been playing. And I got Disgaea 1. They're going to bring out Disgaea 2. I can guarantee that one. And 3 and 4, But you guys see all these games, okay? All of these games. And yet, one of the things I need to do is take my time and play them. I can't play them, with everyone fucking wanting to time vampire me. I mean, Chloe makes plenty of time for games, Yet the neighbor, she just asked me the other day, and I want to talk about that for a minute. The neighbor that excessively drinks. Chloe knows this. And, she was like, I owe her some money for the internet. And she's like, well, can you also pick me up some more booze, which she's paying for? And yet, at the same time, so I will do it for her. Oh, by the way, I have this game I opened, but I haven't tried it yet. Lost Sphear for PS4. I have all these fucking games. Oh, I got other games, too, that I got to try out. I got Ys 8 for this. The 2 Trials of Cold Steel, which is good. Persona, the Neptunia series. All these games to try, yet I need to sit down and do them, I just need to fucking sit down and, do 10 or 15 spreadsheets a day and then fucking spend the rest of the time on games. But every time I get ready to plan games, and this is my own, I got other fucking shit I gotta do. Oh, Rudy, can you do this? Oh, Rudy, can you do that? And I'm not talking about Chloe in general. Chloe doesn't ask me. It's like these neighbors just text me and like, can you do this? Can you do that? And it's like, now my cousin-in-law, that's a different story. She we talked about it. She knows I'm the the queen of spreadsheets. Queen of spreadsheets. Do. But anyways, the bottom line is I don't have fucking time for everything. I mean, every time I want to plan something, it's like, purely griping like, when will I get to sit down and do these things? I mean, how do I say it? I asked. Okay, here. Let me put it this way. Okay, I just asked the neighbor. Not the neighbor. The 2 brides. I said I'm gonna do your wedding. You're taking me to dinner. Since you guys are leaving me at the ferry terminal with a ticket to go home Saturday, is it possible? Since I'm doing your service pretty much for nothing, if you can at least give me a little compensation so I can take Chloe to dinner, And my first idea was I was gonna go to Cousin Vinny's Pizza, and the neighbor's like, don't go there, it's too greasy. And the other neighbor's like, don't listen to him. The grease is great. And then he turns and says, yeah, and yet you want her to die from all of her heart disease because you're telling her to go there. And don't go to Van Gogh's. They're greasy. So she's like, well, what do you do? He's like, well, go to the marketplace and get couple $11 pizzas. How the fuck do I go to the marketplace for me and Chloe's date if they're closed by the time I get home? I mean, I don't even remember the fucking schedule for the meeting. I think it was like I get on the 4:30 ferry and I get home at 5:50, and that's 10 minutes to run up the hill, which takes a lot longer just to go get 2 fucking pizzas for us. And so, any of Chloe's family's watching, Chloe, you guys need to know that that's not enough time. So I specifically asked for finances, to take her to one of the steakhouses or sushi. I mean, I'm willing to try sushi yet again, and yet no reply. So basically, I love my family anyways, and so, and I love Chloe dearly. It's, I'm trying to line up a date, and then, you got these jackasses, and this is my complaint yet again. It's not against Chloe, but they're just like, all these dumbasses and jackasses, like these people that support, as Chloe calls the dictator. Chloe calls it, not me, or anyone who supports 45, which is the president's number, that they're all jackasses, and the thing is with me, I wanted to do a date, but you got these freaking idiotic dumbasses. I like that one, dumbasses, that basically think, that I am some piece of meat that anyone can walk over. Now Chloe addressed it the other day, saying, I must be like Aaron doormat syndrome because people walk over me and I don't stand up and say no. And Chloe's right about that. The thing is these fucking people turn around. Like one person said, it's my duty to support her. Another person told me that it's not my duty to support her. She either gets a job or she goes to a homeless shelter. Her mom wanted her to go to the homeless shelter. What type of mother does that and get a job? And her grandmother wants her on disability. Her grandfather, I don't know, didn't ask him. And then finally, you got these dumbasses that's basically saying, the other part, there's multiple parties, okay? I'm just going to say the dumbass party because I know, Chloe's in the next room. She's probably laughing her ass off when I'm saying the dumbass party. They're the party basically that turns around and says, oh, what's the point of having someone like her around when they're sucking up your finances? I mean, the APS lady turned around and said, it's not your job to take care of her, but, we don't know what's on the paper. The case was closed. They could just say financial exploitation. Oh, well. Or it could say nothing. The problem is I don't really care about APS so much as I just wanted to do a date with Chloe, but you got these dumbasses out there. I like that word, dumbass. That's a new word, my second favorite word. Now, remember, my first word is toying. I've been toying with the idea for a while. It's these dumbass. These dumbasses out there turn around and say, well, she's not deserving of anything, but she's not pulling her own weight. Well, this is where Chloe thinks I complain, but the point is, these dumbasses don't realize that she's fucking mentally disabled and can't work. But then these dumbasses turn around and say, well, she can work. I mean, let's put it this way, okay? Because Chloe thinks I'm complaining, but Chloe really wants to hear me complain. I'm going to let it out right now, okay? And it ain't against Chloe. These dumbasses over at the fucking mental hospital decided, because they want to keep Chloe away from me, to put her in her medical records, dumbasses, that Chloe wanted to get housing and a job and get situated in her own little apartment in Seattle and stuff, just to be dumbasses to keep her from getting disability. Now, when I basically talked to the lawyer that fired her, dumbass that he was, he said, you can't do anything because she's schizophrenic, bipolar, all this crap on a 3-mile long list of mental illnesses. The judge would throw it out, dumbasses. And so basically, you got a whole bunch of dumbasses basically hurting her. Oh, Chloe can work. Oh, Chloe can stay in a homeless shelter for X amount of weeks. Oh, Chloe can do this. Dumbasses. And then, like I said in the beginning of the story, one of the things the homeless shelter thought is, oh, Chloe's got a home to go to. She's not off the lease. Fucking dumbasses turn around, and wanted to ship her out because they thought another girl was assaulted in the homeless shelter's girl wing. Now, I know some of these dumbasses out there, these people that want to point fingers and say, oh, Chloe's a man. Chloe needs to be in the men's wing. Chloe's a woman, all right? Now, when I basically was bitching earlier, I was talking about my internal feelings, my soul feeling like that everywhere I go. And this is not Chloe, by the way. This is what I was trying to explain. And Chloe heard me think I said her. That at times I feel like I'm just a man. People just look at me as a man. See all these girls, well, you don't know makeup, you're a man. You got tits, you're a man. You have breast implants, you're a man with tits. You got a dilator in you, you're a fucking man. Those are fucking fake. You're a man. You can't wear makeup. You're a man. You're a man. You're a man. You're a man. And then they turn around and call Chloe a man child. It's hard to say, but And then when they say this, it triggers me to be fucking depressed because, that's why I've been going through my Facebook feed basically. And basically with all the friends I have and all the subscribers I've subscribed to over the years, just going through and unclicking and not subscribed to it. So I got less on my feed narrowing down to when I do get my feed, it's only my family. So anyways, back to the story. These dumbasses basically screwed up her Social Security chances, which then you got some other dumbasses out there basically contacting people and saying this, this, and this. Then you got other dumbasses basically calling it in, saying, "Oh, I've been abused," and so all this stuff stacks up, depresses me. And when it depresses me, my family, they got the little red flags going up, all because I'm depressed. Like Teddy. Teddy's basically like, take a deep breath. And then Pam's trying to come for me. Pam basically said today, and she didn't complain or nothing, and she knew I didn't complain. She basically said, you have too much on your plate. You got to take care of Chloe. You got to take care of these dumbasses who aren't taking care of Chloe. You got to do everything, you know. And so people sit there and say that I'm dumbass because, you know, I can't just stand up and say, oh, here's the phone. You can make the phone calls. She's got communications issues. But no, they think some of these dumbasses think that she's faking it. Oh, Chloe's faking it, right? You know, my point is I'm not complaining at all. I sometimes takes it out of proportion and doesn't understand, but I love Chloe no less. Problem is I'm getting to the point of my life where my bitching is I don't want these fucking time vampires sucking up every fucking minute of my life, you know, literally. And so, you know, when I talked tonight on this video, I was talking about Christmas gifts, box, you know, I mean, hell, I mean, people sit there and they ask me, "Oh, I'd like to get you a Christmas present," you know, and you know, it's like me. You know, my main complaint, you know, I said jokingly was, you know, Chloe's not going to get anything for Christmas if she doesn't get me a list. But my list is already put together, and I got to add a few more things to Amazon. It's like Japanese books to learn Japanese cooking. Portable TV. Oh, wow. I must be a dumbass for one of those. Well, let's see. Can't get this little bit running. I mean, it runs on batteries, but I'll be just watching frick. Hey, Rita, what are you doing? I'm watching snow, Chloe. Definitely watching snow. That must be really boring. Definitely watching snow. I don't know why I'm not getting a channel. Definitely watching snow. You guys know what snow is. It's where snow comes on and there's nothing on, or you see the little red, white, red, blue, and whatever colors, you know, and it comes up on the screen, you know. But thing is, these things don't work. They're just antiques. And then people charge $50 for them or $100. I mean, you don't want your fucking TV, put it on for $1 and charge $8 for shipping. Put some packing peanuts in a damn box and ship it out. I mean, it's simple. I wanted a portable TV, which, you know, the thing is like I said, I mean, all these ideas that I want, same time, I'm, you know, I mean, you know, like I said, I was joking to Tara the other day about wanting a portable TV too, and she's just like, ask her which uncle. So, but anyways, you guys see the problems I'm having. I mean, I'm in a fucking drama thing right now with fucking neighbors fucking trying to screw over everyone. They're fucking trying to target us. They're trying to fucking target someone who's trying to get bad. One neighbor's fucking wanting a 2 or 3 bedroom, so she'll do anything for it, you know. So we got all this fucking shit. I got my plate stacked up high. I'm trying to do spreadsheets. I'm trying to do this and trying to do that. I'm also trying to give, you know, which back to my story before I forget. You got these jackasses or dumbasses. I like the word better. Dumbasses turning around and basically saying, well, if you're going to do things like shaving cream, excuse me, shaving cream is not an example, sir, or ma'am, because shaving cream is what we all got to do. By the way, I found an electrolysis place here on the island. I got to check out the rates so I can get all my hair done. And, you know, there was something I was going to say is, again, you know, a lot of people out there, they hear things like from Chloe and they're saying a complaint. So, where they hear Chloe say, well, what about me? And they're just like, is there a mouse in your pocket, or are you you know, narcissistic? It's all about you. And it irritates the fuck out of me because frankly, people sit there and say, well, I mean, it's like, how do I explain it? Chloe's different. Chloe's a woman. Chloe's no more woman than I am. Basically, she's a woman. I'm a woman. So no more, no less a woman than I am. So basically, we're both women. Thing is, they just want to sit there and say, "Ooh, you're being suppressed." No, I feel suppressed because every time I turn around, it's like, "Can you buy this? Can you buy that? Can you do this? Can you do that?" Problem is it's these people out there that's triggering it all. I mean, look, you have these dumbasses turning around and telling me, "Don't do anything for Chloe. She doesn't do anything for you. Get rid of Chloe. Chloe's the problem." Another one, another dumbass, and I know Chloe's chuckling about it in another room probably is. Then one of the neighbors from my old building used to say, "Well, if you're bringing the problem with you, I'm Dr. Evil. You're going to bring the problem with you." I mean, see, I'm complaining about my former neighbor, not her in general. But these fucking dumbasses sit there and say, "Well, you're going to be in the ground early because of this and that." And that's how I feel. I mean, I feel it, but it's not her fault. It's not my fault. Well, technically, everyone on the world of Facebook think it is my fault because I took her home. But, the point I'm making is these dumbasses need to realize that they need to smell my ass and basically realize that I'm getting fed up with it and I'm tired of it. I mean, it's like one of my friends said, you can sit there and, the other morning, the other morning, she actually basically was like, had her coffee, and she basically gave me the best advice possible. She says, "Hey," she says, "I know you love Chloe dearly. I can give you advice. You won't take it. But the best medicine is to talk it out, whether it be on YouTube or whatever." And I talk it out on YouTube, not to make complaints about Chloe or this or that. I'm complaining in general about fucking someone accusing me twice today, and then fucking sitting there and having these dumbasses turn around and tell me, "Oh, well, you brought the problem with you." I mean, literally. I mean, well, let's get down to the final part of the thing. Okay, you guys know I want towels. I got to get towels. I want a portable TV. I want to get my noise canceling headphones. I want to get some other stuff. But also, I wanted to say, for the record, because one of the things I want to say out of love to all of you is the same neighbor wanted to call the law the other day because Chloe had an outburst. Now, I'm not bitching about the outburst, okay? I just rolled over and went to sleep, okay? This was like 11:30 to 1:30 or something in that time frame. I was tired. I don't sleep that much, okay? I got so much stacked up on my plate that when I wake up, I can't get back to sleep. And that's because Moppy's bouncing in my head while I'm taking shit. So, pay attention. I'm going to say this once. When it came to talking to the lady and talking to closed case workers and all this shit, one of the things that triggers me to be fucking depressed severely is not what people say word-wise. Okay, yes, I'm disabled. Yes, I'm too fucking disabled. But because, people say you must be too fucking disabled, too fucking stupid if you brought Chloe back. Now, that's complaint is against me. But I won't see her thrown out on the street. But I will say, what irritates the fuck out of me the most about this whole fucking problem is that hearing people sit there and they tell me something, I try to relay it in the simplest terms possible for the love of my life. It goes over her head. I mean, literally, all you got to do is reapply for Social Security. Once, your case is transferred to the other county, we're going to make that work, okay? But emailing and trying to find, and I got a couple things again because, she's very hard to get letters for, and we did get them because she's seen the doctors. That's one thing she did in September. She never told her mom this. But the dumbasses, once they transfer everything, we can get things set. But currently, you got these dumbasses in another county. Basically, if Chloe went to get mental health, she had another mental breakdown, they're not going to take her. I mean, literally, we're walking in thin eggshells right now, or thin ice, just trying to get through everything, get her the treatment she needs. Fortunately, these dumbasses out there, they're basically withholding the treatment that she needs. And so, to me, I blame these fuckers. And then, and the final bit of my gripe is that these dumbasses out there think that it doesn't matter if Chloe doesn't have cash assistance or whatever. Just kick her out, let her go live with her mom. Her mom doesn't want her. Her dad doesn't want her. The problem is these dumbasses out there are turning around and basically, telling me that I need to stand up for myself and say, you gotta earn stuff, and me. I mean, I love Chloe, I don't sit there. I might remind her once a day, clean. Doesn't happen, and it's like 12 o'clock in the night. Fuck it, not my problem. That's why I was talking to the neighbor about hiring the neighbor. The other neighbor got mad. Again, the one neighbor's a dumbass. She said, you have to not hire this lady because this lady here is my arch nemesis. Well, I don't give a shit. If I pay the price to get it done, it's a done deal. I don't care if she sets your apartment on fire, as hubby would say. Sarcasm there, because frankly, I'm getting to the point in my life where I don't give a shit. To an update, yeah, I should. I mean, literally, you're right about that. I didn't even think you were still watching. But anyway, I should put in the title. This is all about these dumbasses out there. But I don't know. Maybe, do you think YouTube would allow me to use dumbasses? I mean, in my videos, it's a different story. But anyways, this video has gone long enough. Chloe knows I'm going to want to dip before bed. And, Chloe knows by now I don't complain about her. But the bottom line is, you got these dumbasses out there saying that Chloe needs to earn what she's going to be here. I mean, because she's going to live here. I mean, look, the fucking, and I'm going to say it, this freaking investigator was investigating me because I supposedly was being abused. And she was a sweetheart. But still, she's ranked under my radar as a dumbass. Wants to say that Chloe needs to pull her own weight. She's got to get a job, get disability, or whatever. But in the meantime, it's like, you shouldn't be supporting her. Well, that's only because they might be trying to put it in that I'm going to lose my financing or my own pay thing to take care of her. But the thing is I care for Chloe. I mean, some of you don't know this, but I got some rings coming. And I was just looking at the most gorgeous ring tonight. And if it's available, I'm going to try to order another ring for myself. As well as Chloe. If I buy myself one, she'll be angry. I was also looking at actual hunting bows. They got some decent bows on Wish, too. I'm kind of sketchy about buying a bow from them because what if it's made in China? I know I'm not Chloe. Now, I'm the dumbass. Hubby used to say that when it comes to China, a lot of craftsmen. China's just accepted. Move on, me. I want stuff that can be either made in America or made in America. I mean, but the bottom line is I'm a dumbass, okay, for that one. I mean, I wasn't meaning to say Chloe. I mean, Chloe never said all the best stuff's made in China, Aaron basically said, we got to accept Chinese-made crap, because the Chinese need to work too. Yet, some people out there, the dumbasses, would say, well, the Chinese people that are disabled can street sweep a sidewalk. Chloe can too, but Chloe is severely mentally ill with she'll flip. But again, that's not a complaint. That's a fact. Oh, that's a good one right there. So if anyone out there is watching this, Chloe's mom, Chloe's dad, Chloe's stepdad, Chloe's grandpa, I'm going to just leave down the facts. That's going to be my third word. First word is toying with. That's my favorite word. The second all-time word is dumbass. And the third fucking favorite word is going to be that's the fact. And the fact is, and you can't dispute it, even Chloe's grandma knows she's too disabled. Point is I'm getting to the point in my life where these dumbasses out there need to mind their own damn business and etc. Now, Chloe already knows the outcome is coming up that we might be not doing a date anyways until after payday. And then most of the money is going to be taking care of bills and paying layaway. So bills and layaway. So technically our date might just be a sub sandwich at Subway or some yummy, tasty Taco Bell. We haven't done Taco Bell in a while anyways, but you guys get it. So Anyways, I need to go get a dip, and basically, you know, I wanted to share that with you all, and I am going to log out and say to you all, thank you for tuning in. You know, I will make another update tomorrow or the next day or whenever I feel like it. I'm still depressed. I'm not going to do anything stupid, but I just want to share with you with all the triggers and all these dumbasses out there. I'm going to need a break somehow. So, with that said, everyone, please add and subscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestions. Hit the like and subscribe button so it's fun even for the family, even for grandma and the dogs. Watching Buttercups.